The only person to do more damage to Johnny Depp's character than Rattlesnake Jake is Amber Heard. Heyo, ba-bam, I'll be here all week.
I shall reign triumphant.
Buenos dias, children.
So.
Hell, you're all gonna be doing that.
Welcome back to Villain Review, episode 89, and today we are looking at Rattlesnake Jake from the 2011 film Rango. Shout out to everyone that has been suggesting Jake, because it has been a lot of people, and for everyone that voted for him on the poll. How good of a villain is this sidewinding gunslinger? Let's figure it out. So Rattlesnake Snake is a bit of a mystery and enigma, but what I do know is that he would probably be good friends with Charlie and Mac because he does not like birds, specifically a red-tailed hawk who likes to hang out around the city of dirt. Being a ruthless mercenary, when the hawk is out of the picture, Jake comes back into the town to help Mayor John secure all the surrounding areas because they're both jerks. That's basically it. Not a really fancy origin or a fancy motive, but that's pretty much all we get. Actually, there is no origin and the motive is super simple. Jake is a mercenary, so it makes sense for him to come in when Mayor John needs him, and you can also tell he has a thing against liars because there is a clear hatred for Rango and the whole I killed those guys, you're my brother thing. He really wants to expose how much of a fraud Rango is, so yeah, probably shouldn't lie to this dude. Honestly, that's about it. Yeah, cool.
If I ever see you again, I will take your soul straight down to hell.
So when it comes to character, I think Rattlesnake Jake really shines. Right off the bat, I have to mention Bill Nye. No, not the science guy, but the Davy Jones acting legend Bill Nye. In this role, he does such an incredible job because Jake is so intimidating, but also cunning, and he's played to absolute perfection. Like I said, Jake is honestly one of the most intimidating villains I've ever reviewed to date, because not only are rattlesnakes scary enough, but they're even more terrifying for little rodent other creatures like Rango. It's one thing to be intimidating, but Jake knows he's intimidating, and with the bird out of the picture, there's really nobody that can stop him. I can't remember the last time a villain showed up for one scene, and then they just make the hero look so incredibly bad for the rest of that scene. Like, I watch this scene and I enjoy it because Jake is cool, but I'm also like, bro, dude, leave Rango alone. Okay, we get it, man. Get off his back. The way Jake just commands the scenes he's in, it's an excellent quality for him to have as a villain. As terrifying as he is, he's not unbeatable, and I actually like that we see that fear in him when he thinks the hawk's coming back to dirt. It's a small moment, but it makes Jake all the more complex, and I admire the film for giving him that. Also, I love how the dude has kind of a code of honor, like how after Rango escapes, Jake's like, alright G, you are tight as shit, we got no beef. We got no beef here, you a real one. It's this code of honor that makes him feel less like an evil villain just for evil's sake, and more like a real character who could exist, outside of the fact that he's a talking snake with a machine gun for a tail. And oh my gosh, that is the best idea of all time. How instead of the rattle shaking, it's the gun warming up. Guys, what the hell? That's genius. I know this movie came out 10 years ago, but whoever came up with that idea, give them a raise, give them millions of dollars. I can't get over that. That is so freaking cool. Guys, we need a name for the rattlesnake villain in our new movie Rango. Okay, how about Todd? Todd is not a scary name. You have not met my ex-wife. Your ex-wife's name's Todd? Okay, that's besides the point. But if Todd isn't gonna work, what about Steven? Yeah, no. Okay, well then what about Jake? Get it? Because it rhymes with snake? We don't have to make the characters' names rhyme. We should name our main character Romelian the Chameleon, and then he goes up against Jake the Snake. Dude, that's freaking sick. No, those both sound really stupid, and Jake is not an intimidating name at all. Yeah, but rattlesnakes are scary, so what if we just put that in front of his name, and then people will be like, whoa, he is a rattlesnake, and rattlesnakes are scary. Alright, that's pretty genius. Okay, thanks, but just to make sure we're clear, that's a no on Romelian the Chameleon? As far as scenes go, it's kind of complicated because Jake waits until the last 30 minutes of the film to show up, and overall, he only has about 7 or 8 minutes of screen time. When you have such little screen time in a film, it's easy to feel unimpactful, but if you use the time well, you can still have a good impact on the film and be memorable. A great example is John Doe from Seven. Luckily for Rattlesnake Jake, I think he falls into that later category because all of his scenes are incredibly memorable. The dude's barely on screen, but he's still one of the best parts of the movie. I think one of the reasons is because Jake owns literally every scene he's in. With, like I said, my favorite being the introduction. While up until this moment we haven't seen Jake, he still has that presence in the film because of his reputation, and he seems kind of like this mysterious figure who we know Rango is gonna have to deal with eventually. I think for foes who aren't on screen that much, presence is super important, and Jake hits that perfectly. The scene itself though is just, it's really good, and it reminds me why I like villains, because they're just really cool. It's by far my favorite Jake scene, and probably one of my favorites in the movie. It's that good.
Pull your gun and shoot me. But of course you won't need all this. Just one.
Another thing I like about Jake is that he doesn't seem to be actually evil. He's a mercenary, so he kind of aligns with whoever's got that Dogecoin, but I wouldn't say he's evil. If you're thinking, dude, this category is called evil deeds, and you like the fact he's not evil, that don't make any damn sense. Just because Jake isn't evil, that doesn't mean he doesn't do evil things, because he does, at least from Rango's perspective. By those standards, he's really the one that exposes Rango's big lie, and while it's not as evil as like nuking a city or punching a baby, it's a really messed up thing to do as far as how much it impacts Rango. The whole entire movie, Rango struggles with identity, and he finally gets one. He has this heroic role, he gets the attention, he gets the love, he sort of finds his purpose in life. It's a real issue I'm sure people struggle with, not being a thespian chameleon, but you know what I mean. The evil thing Jake does is that once Rango finds some purpose in life, Jake just comes in and ruins all of it. He ruins all of Rango's relationships, his reputation, and even gives more power to the other villains in the film. It might not be like a super terrible thing, but in terms of the character and how it affects him, he utterly destroys Rango. And I think that's what makes him a good villain.
Hello, brother. Thirsty?
So while Jake doesn't have an origin, an argument could be made that they do that on purpose because they want him to be mysterious and like this hidden figure in the West. But that being said, his motive isn't really compelling no matter how you look at it. I will say though that he's a really cool character, and Bill Nye does a fantastic job playing that intimidating angle. And the design is it's just top class. He's not in the movie a whole ton, but he makes every scene count, and his introduction is like how you should do a villain introduction. He's not evil, but in terms of Rango's character, he absolutely decimates the dude in a heartbreaking scene that I really enjoy. Honestly, the rating here is tough because Jake's not even the real villain. For a side antagonist, Jake is like a 9, but if I'm judging him as just a villain in general, I'm gonna give Rattlesnake Jake an 8.
What was that you said? Pretty soon, no one will believe you even existed.
Thank you so much for watching. I make a new villain review every single Monday. Subscribe so you don't miss a single one. Thanks again for watching. Vote on the poll. I'll see you next time.